Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show. Welcome to another episode of 30 Inks 30 Days. How is everyone doing today? Are you having a nice day? I hope you're having a nice day wherever you are in the world. Today we are looking at a blue ink from Diamine. A Diamine Blue Edition Diamine Inkvent Polar Glow. I just realized that this one's coming off a little strangely in color. Had to adjust it so heavily yesterday. Nope, that didn't do it. Nope, that still didn't do it. Hi Obs, how are you doing today? Are you having a nice day? How you been? How you been? Alright, let's take a look at today's ink. Today's pen, we will be using the Pilot Prera with a cursive medium nib. Here is our ink of the day. It's a nice dark-ish blue ink. It's very nice. I'm alright so far. It's just got the tiniest bit of like purple sheen around the edge. So that's cool. Here's our ink swatch. Water resistance test shows might not want to use this on the outside of an envelope for fear it may wash away. And you can see that magenta-y, purple-y sheen going on. That's cool. Hi Debbie, how are you doing today? Yes, it's a very pretty ink. Here's our toilet paper chromatography. There's a dark blue and then a lighter blue, and then I don't see anything funny coming out. So that's cool. And here is our ink painting of the day. Let's just do a little switchy swatch. Today's my friend Kirsten's birthday. Happy birthday, Kirsten. I hope you have a great day. Let's see. This is... This one does beautiful. Beautiful writing. Oh, I'm having a good day. It's a very good day. Let's do just a little bit of fast writing. Pretty good on the Pure Gustafson test is usually meant to See how well the ink tracks when making a fast stroke. This pen works pretty good for that. Very nice. This ink was from the 2019 Inkvent calendar, and you can let me see if I can show you the red sheen that's happening here. I am going to bring up the lights so you can see. Oh yeah, there it is. Look at that beautiful sheen. Such a beautiful color. If you guys like sheeny inks, this may be the one for you. A very vibrant in color. Okay, let's do a paper review, shall we? Let's get my trusty finger cots on so I can have some grippy. Alright. Let's zoom in just a little bit. Bring down the lights just ever so slightly. Alright, this is the Pen and Gear Memo Book from Walmart.com. Actually, I'm going to leave those lights where they were. Look at that beautiful sheen. No feathering. No bleeding. A little bit of ghosting. This is lightweight traveler's notebook paper, again with a beautiful sheen. Nice shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is super lightweight traveler's notebook paper. Beautiful sheen. Beautiful sheen on this paper. You can definitely see nice shading, no feathering, lots of ghosting. This is Moleskin 70 GSM. There's no sheen and it's feathering into the page, and it did bleed right through the page. When there are sheen doesn't mean it has shimmer in it. No. Sheen and shimmer are two different things. For example, give me just a second. So, shimmer, there are little tiny silver-esque particles suspended in the ink. That's called shimmer. And a sheen comes from a reflection of light. So an ink will pool on the page relatively thickly in one area, and when it dries, it becomes a semi-solid surface, which means it is very opaque. And when the light comes from one way and bounces into the camera, the vibrations from the light that hit that angle of whatever the micrometer of the light force is, that will appear to our eyes as a color. Some colors are copper shimmer, sheen, some are gold sheen. There's even brown and purple sheen. So, and it all has to do with how thick the ink is, how well the paper absorbs the ink. If like this paper absorbed all of the ink pretty good, so there's no sheen on it whatsoever. But when the ink sits on top of the when it dries on top of it, you'll see that there's like a pooling of ink right there. On most of the letters, you'll get a little pooling of ink from where the nib slows down, and it will layer on top of the paper. Some papers are coated in a very thin coating that keeps it from absorbing into the page. This one has no coating, you can tell, because most of these are pretty matte. This is a shimmer. It's a particle that reflects the light instead of a sheen which also reflects the light in a different way. So this one, it has nice shading but no shimmer, and you can see the orchid has lots of shimmer, and there's no real feathering. I don't see hardly any feathering, and there is a little bit of bleed through and a little bit of ghosting. Ghosting is where you can see it through the paper, but it hasn't quite bled through. But most of these ones have bled through. This paper, for example, is very thin. All of these are ghosting, except right there where you can tell that it bled through the page. So most papers are pretty opaque, where you can't really see the ink through the paper, but this is made for more like making a certain amount of how do I put this? It's like tracing paper. So you want to learn calligraphy, you can put the lines underneath it and be able to see the lines underneath. Or you can put the lines behind it and see the lines behind through the paper. I don't know if that made it better or worse. Also, I do tend to ramble a bit, but hopefully it's with a better understanding behind it. Okay, so here we go. This is Fabriano Icocqua 85 GSM. This one has a sheen and shading. Sorry, my brain tarted out for a moment. It's always best to write things down that tard your brain out. This is like the third time that's happened, so... Okay, there. So, shading is where an ink is light enough that when it's doubled over, or it pools the ink, that it shows a darker bit on top of a lighter bit. See, this wattle golden is very matte. There's no real shading. The same with this maple leaf. Most of these don't have any shading. This one has some shading. It's where it looks like there's a shading on top of a portion of ink. That's where they get the name. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Ayush 100 GSM paper. A little bit of shading, a little bit of sheen. no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Leuchtturm 1917. A little bit of sheen, a little bit of shading, no feathering. A little bit of ghosting, but no bleed through. See, this is ghosting. That's bleed through. This is all ghosting. Midori MD paper. Hi, Wumble Bumblebee. How are you doing today? This is Midori MD paper. Nice shading, nice sheen, no feathering. A little bit of ghosting, no bleed through. This is 52 GSM Tomoe River. Nice shading, nice sheen, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Wait, where is it? Right there. No ghosting, a little tiny micro bit of ghosting. I'm doing fairly well, thank you. This is Cosmo Air Light 75 GSM. Nice shading, nice sheen, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Office Depot, Office Max. Now here's where we see lots of feathering. Oh, no feathering on this one today. No sheen, a little bit of shading, little bit micro bleeding, and a little bit of ghosting. Some of this, sometimes you get a ink that feathers, which looks like it's got little chicken feathers coming right off of the stem. And you can tell them from a mile away. That one's got a little bit of feathering, and that one's got a little bit of feathering. So you can definitely tell the feathering from the bleed through. Let's see. This one has a little bit of micro bleeding and a little bit of ghosting. This is the Jot Journal from the Dollar Tree. Nice shading, a little bit of sheen, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. It's papers like this that really make me wonder what all of the rest of the papers are being made of. Because this is the Jot Journal. It came from the $1.25 tree, and it's only like $1.25 for this nice book of paper. Now, I have had very few inks that have bled through since I've been using this paper, and I've reviewed over 1,000 inks, and I can tell you that only very few of them actually bleed through this paper, and even fewer of them ghost. So, I mean, it's a miracle when it bleeds through this paper. It's good stuff. Highly recommend. This is Caliber, CVS Caliber Soft Journal. Now, this is not to be considered to be the worst of the bunch, but it's pretty bad. Look at that. Sometimes it feathers, sometimes it doesn't. So, let's see. What about today's? It's feathering just a little tiny bit. I don't see any sheen. And a little bit of bleeding, tiny micro bleeding, barely any ghosting. This is Clairefontaine 90 GSM. Nice sheen, nice shading, no real feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting though. This is Marmon Nemosiny 80 GSM Dot Grid. A little bit of shading, a little bit of sheen, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Another very good paper. This is Oxford Optic paper, 90 GSM. This one is slightly more absorbent than the other 90 GSMs, with just the tiniest hint of red sheen, nice shading, no feathering, little tiny bit of micro bleeding, and barely any ghosting. Exceed 100 GSM heavyweight paper from Walmart.com. Nice shading, barely any sheen, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is Archer and Olive heavyweight notebook paper. Beautiful shading, beautiful sheen, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Up and Up Wide Ruled Composition Book from Target.com. This is also relatively cheap paper, slightly good. Nice shading. I don't see any sheen. No bleeding, a little bit of ghosting though. True Red Composition Book from Staples.com. A little bit of feathering, a little bit of shading. I don't see any sheen. A little bit of micro bleeding and a little bit of ghosting. This is Apica notebook paper, 81.4 GSM. Ooh, look at that nice sheen and the shading. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is the Pelican Hub pad that they gave us. Nice shading, no sheen, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is, oops, wrong one. This is the Nanami 7 Seas 68 GSM Tumaway River. You can find this at Drum Ghouls. If you look at all that beautiful sheen and shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Sanzan Tumaway River. Beautiful sheen, beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is U-Style notebook paper. A little bit of shading, just a little bit of sheen right there. It's got a tiny bit of feathering going on, and micro bleeding and barely any ghosting. This is CVS Caliber loose leaf paper, or filler paper. This is my favorite paper to use because it's 3-hole punch and it's loose leaf, so it makes great for note writing, and it hardly ever bleeds. Been very few instances where it does bleed through. Beautiful sheen, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting, and it doesn't ghost either, which is good stuff. Oxford Oxford notebook paper. This is another really nice one so far. Tiny bit of feathering right there on the G. Nice sheen, nice shading. No bleeding, no ghosting. 5-star notebook paper. This is by Mead. And you can see the little tiny feathers that are coming off. I don't see any sheen. Nice shading. Tiny bit of ghosting. This is the Pen & Gear Heavyweight Notebook Paper from Walmart.com. Look at that beautiful shading and the beautiful sheen. I don't see hardly the tiny bits of feathering. No bleeding, no ghosting. Another highly recommended. This is the HP Premium 32-pound copy paper. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Aqua B cross-section pad. It's got just the tiniest bit of sheen, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is Rhodia Dot Pad 80 GSM. Nice shading, nice sheet, no feathering. Oh, excuse me. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Another excellent choice. This is the JNB Copperplate Graph Pad from JohnNeilBooks.com. I don't see any sheen. Nice shading, no feathering. A little bit of ghosting. Tiny bit of ghosting. And last of the papers that I have is Original Crown Mill 100 GSM paper. Nice shading. I don't see any sheen. Tiny feathering. Little tiny bit of ghosting right there. Okay, let's do a comparison panel and see where this ink lies. I think it's a blue ink. We have so many blue inks to go through, so I hope that you guys have a nice coffee or something nice to drink. Take a look at some of these blue inks. We're going to start with the light blue inks, and then we'll just work our way through. Alright, this is Diamine Polar Glow. Next to bring down the lights just a tiny bit. There we go. Visconti Turquoise, Hippocamp, Lamy Blue, Namiki Blue, Serenity, Douse Blau, Washable Blue, Blue Lightning, Blue Moon, Light Blue Cyan, Sky Blue, Caribbean Blue, Light Blue, Horizon Blue, Lake Bay, Light Washed, Blue Provence, Turquoise, Steel Blue, Havasu Turquoise, Blue Bahama, Jade Vine, Dostoevsky, Yuki Akari, Whoopi Blue, Motor City Peacock, Blue Nose Bear, Blue Cool Breeze, Sub-Zero, Infinity Turquoise, Topaz. Ooh, here we go. This one's getting kind of close. Hawaii Blue, Royal Blue, Monongahela, Blue Water Ice. These are just the light blues. Okay, let's look at some medium blues and see if we can find some. Pelican Sapphire, Kyanite du Nepal, Sumer, Turquoise, Turquoise Eel, Nitrogen, Florida Blue, Mediterranean, Capri Blue, Food Color Blue, Cali Inks Blue, Tropical Blue, Primary Blue, Sky High, Rory's kind of close, Poorman Sapphire, Bernanke Blue, Freedom of the Starry Skies Blue, Sailor Manyo Konagi. This one's kind of close. Radiant Blue, Baltimore Canyon Blue, Kensington Blue is kind of close. Robert Louis Stevenson South Seas Blue, Blue Bonnet is kind of close. Simone, Compeki, Arctic Blast is kind of close, but Arctic Blast has green shimmer in it. Angelfish is kind of close. Sheen Machine is kind of close. Mysterious Blue, Indigo is kind of close. Cosmos is kind of close. Blue Myosotis, Blue Caprese, Aurora Blue, Thunderbolt, Bay State Blue, Ajaccio, Asagao, AO, Cost Blue, Ham, Navy, and Visconti Blue. Those are the medium blues. Let's take a look at some dark blue inks. Tsukio, Midnight Blue, Midnight Blue, Blue Velvet Cake, Dark Blue, Cenote, Bloody Brexit, Maureen, Cat, DC Super Show blue, Saltire, Ruby blues, Timeless blue, Bellflower, Hell's Bells, Deep Dark blue, Midnight blue, Columbia blue copper, Stars and Stripes, Blue Black, Sheen Machine, Skull and Roses, Blue Blood, Upon a Star, Stargazer, Midnight Blue, Aoguro, Denim, Silent Night, Herbert, Storm, Michael, Kunda-chan, Dragon's Night, Midnight, Majestic Blue, Ralph Waldo Emerson Twilight Blue, Steel Blue, Lake of Fire, Flying Squid Blue, Sydney Darling Harbor, Bad Belted Kingfisher, Shocking Blue, Serenity Blue, Königsblau, Blue Ocean, Oxford Blue, and Isingala Salix. Dark Washed, Pigmented Deep Blue, Oliphant, Crystal Benatite, Magnetic Blue, Ferdinand von Zeppen, Indigo, Nadeshiko, Balton Kick, Butterfly Nebula, One More Sleep, Haha, Danuvius Danube, Cotton Blue, Indigo Bunting Blue, Blue Black, Real Dark Blue, Royal Blue, Blue Black, Thunderstorm, 54th Massachusetts, Prussian Blue, Molten Tin, The Mind, Hokusai Fukakahara, Rainy Day, Hazoku, Verdigris, Black Blue, Fog Gray, Blue Black, Allegheny River, and Blue Snowball Nebula Twinkle. Those are all the blues. Well, what did you guys think about today's ink? Are you guys thinking thoughts about getting this ink? Do you have this ink? What do you guys think about today's ink? Let me know in the comment section below. If you have not done so, please check out my new website. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Join our calligraphy class. Today I will be hosting a class on Twitch at 2 p.m. That's twitch.tv/Miss Marilyn Darling. I'm so organized. Last paper in the line, of course. It'll be twitch.tv/Miss Marilyn at 2 p.m. Pacific. I will be teaching us how to do this here Christmas tree to look like this. So if you are interested in learning how to make this Christmas tree, come join the class. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, if you would like a Christmas card from me that I've already made, you can write me a private message on Instagram or on Facebook with your address, and I will make you a Christmas card and send it to you. They are super easy to make, so if you're thinking thoughts about doing it, I might swing by. So, that's all I've got for today. Please don't forget to check out the Discord links in the description of this video. And if you'd like to save 10% off on your next order to Pen Boutique, use this code and I will get a little kickback and you will get 10% off on your next order. Okie dokie? So, that's all I've got for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, subscribe. Ring the little bell. Make sure it's set to all so when I upload new content, YouTube notifies you. And I will be back very soon with another video. So, take care until then. Okay, love you, bye. Have a great day.